Hey guys, Marcus Buff Bagwell here. Man, yesterday going down the road, I was listening to the radio and it came across the radio. May 19th is Andre the Giant's birthday. And man, did my memory go way back on this one, buddy. I mean, way back. And I'm wearing the right shirt today. I mean, this is WCW. This is the beginning of a real great career for me. This is 1992, September of 1992. I remember when I heard that Andre's birthday was yesterday, which, by the way, he would have been 79 years old, man. Wow, 79. I remember Bill Watts had came into the company, and Bill Watts was our new boss, and I felt like I was in trouble because Bill was a real tough guy. All of his talent was really tough. All the wrestlers were Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Gordy's and just a tough lineup, of guys. And Rick Rudes and just really tough men. And I was tough, but I mean I was young and I wasn't as big as a lot of these guys. So I mean, I really thought with Bill, I was going to be in trouble with WCW. And early on, I became friends with Eric Watts, which was a great thing. I mean, Eric Watts are still great friends, and that I really believe that helped save my career is being friends with Eric because two things his dad didn't really like was young bodybuilder type guys. He just didn't like that. He wanted rugged pro wrestlers, and that was not what I was at the time. But it was a great thing. And Bill came in. I remember, and I was a little bit skeptical of one of his very first big things, and it was Clash of Champions was going to be at center stage. And I was like, wow, classic. She goes, classic champions back then was like, our was a huge show for us. I mean, Clash Champions was live. It was like Nitro on steroids. I mean, it really was. It was a big, huge show for us. And when they came on, man, it was like a free pay-per-view. And so Bill gets the Clash of Champions together, and we lived in Atlanta. I lived 20 minutes from center stage, so it was great for us. And Sting was from Atlanta, and a lot of the guys were from Atlanta, so it was really an off day for us. Even though we were in Atlanta, we were wrestling, but we were in Atlanta. So Bill lines up the Clash of Champions. I think it said number 20. I'm not quite sure if that's the 20th year of NWA plus WCW. I think the 20, maybe all that combined, but that's what they called it. And but I remember being up at center stage, and this is a very small venue. This is like a center stage is where we ran all of our television tapings out of. WCW ran most. If you when you saw me on Saturday Night Main Event, that show Saturday Night Main Event, 99% of the time we were taping that at center stage in Atlanta, Georgia. So it wasn't special that we were doing this Clash of Champions at center stage. It was a little bit weird for all of us. But they had the building fixed up good, and it was as ready as we could be for it. And I remember Andre the Giant walking in. And you got to remember, I wasn't a huge wrestling fan. I became a fan. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan right now. But when I first got in this business, I got in this business to make money, and I didn't really know the value of meeting Andre the Giant. Um, I just remember being overwhelmed at this man walking at me at center stage and just how big he was. But almost instantly, before you could look at all the great things and how huge he was and how big he was, almost instantly you were taken away by his crutches. and he was on those crutches that you on your forearms, where you have to walk with your forearms, and the crutches. And it broke my heart, man. I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, he's. But again, I didn't know a lot about Andre the Giant. I just, everybody knew Andre and Hulk and Hulk Hogan and all that, but I didn't know the value of how important it was to meet Andre the Giant, or there would have been a picture of it. Back then there wasn't cell phones to take pictures with, like everybody has now. So you'd have to get, hey, take a picture of us, And I didn't want to bother him or anything. So what I did is I just sat as close as I could to him and just talk to him for a few minutes, man. And it was looking back, I see how special that was, but I didn't see it at the time. And I hate that I didn't know the value of talking to Andre the Giant. I mean, that's beyond a legend. I mean, Andre the Giant should be, he may not be, but he should be on everybody's um, you know, the wall, man. Your best wrestlers, your wall of fame, your I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but your Mount Rushmore should be one of them should be Andre the Giant. I mean, it just should. If your Mount Rushmore has not got Andre or Hulk on it, I think it's wrong because they really are what started this whole thing. I mean, just think about this. In September of 1992, nobody cared about any of us. I mean, we're in center stage where I would come out and have to beg people to come in to watch us for free. I would be on the curb with a guy named Chip Burnham in my wrestling gear as Marcus Alexander Bagwell, begging people to come in for free to watch our TV tapings. We're at that same building trying to run a Clash of Champions. Nobody cared about WCW. And to see WCW go from that to where it went and be a part of all that, it was the most magical ride that I will ever have in my entire life for sure. And part of that magical ride was Andre the Giant being part of this and September of 92. I remember I was off of all things. I wasn't on that show. And another reason why I was worried about Bill, but I wasn't on that show, but I hung around. I remember the beginning of the show. Sting rode up on his Harley outside of center stage in Atlanta. And man, it was just really cool. I was, pinching myself. Here I am with I'm sitting with Andre the Giant. Sting's pulling up on a motorcycle. Where Cowboy Bill Watts is running WCW. I mean, here we go. And we're gonna do something big. But when you look around again, we were at center stage, so something just didn't feel right. Something didn't feel good that we were going to be able to really pull this off. Nobody saw what was coming, of course, but I just could not get over. I remember sitting next, a couple people down from Andre, and I remember. I mean, I've been around Big Show a lot, but I mean, I really believe that he was bigger than Big Show. Like his hands and just his wrist and his head. I mean, he was just so big. It was unbelievable. Um, I just remember being in awe, and not I couldn't really size him up how tall he was because he was on the crutches, but he was just so big. Um, it would have been a wonderful thing to have been able to see him, uh, back in the day and really see him in the ring wrestle. Whoever had a chance to see Andre the Giant wrestle in the ring, man, that's a special special thing. And again, he should be on every Mount Rushmore. Hogan or Andre should be on everybody's Mount Rushmore, one or the other. Without Andre the Giant, I really believe there's no wrestling without a Andre and Hulk Hogan. Those two combined, I really believe without those two that we're not here. Like I said, just 20 years ago, guys, just 25 years ago. Well, 35 now. But it really was, it was irrelevant. Nobody would even come to see us. And then here we are years later, and Sting is at buildings, with thousands of people's in his line, and people lined up. And it's just from that, I believe it was because of Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan doing what they did in the early days. And there's a bunch of wrestlers that get credit for it, but to me, it's those are the two that people really remember and really think that had something to do with all of us having a career with professional wrestling. It was a special day. It made me feel good all day yesterday, knowing that Andre's birthday was that day, May 19th, 2025. He would have been 79 years old, and I just it was a warm place in my heart yesterday thinking about it. Just wanted to let you guys know the time that I met Andre the Giant. Clash of Champions, Atlanta, Georgia, September of 1992.